Welcome to episode number 2 of Soundcheck with Chase. It is such a great honor to have a man that's been in the business for as long as he has been in the business, starting to make a name for yourself here in central Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, and you can't go wrong with the lid that he's got on his head there too as well. It is the great Clifton Bryan. Thank you for being a part of this, man.
Hey, thanks so much, Chase. I really do appreciate you guys. It's fantastic what you're doing for us local artists, and to get out there and be able to get in touch, like deep in touch with people and learn their stories and learn what makes them who they are is great. The fans really like that, I think, too. So I just appreciate being here, man.
Yeah, that's what this is all about, man. This is all about you guys giving the exposure that you guys deserve for all that you guys do here in central Pennsylvania, man. It is absolutely incredible. Obviously a hotbed, Clifton, here in central PA, man. You've been doing this for well over 30 years now. Talk about still having that passion that you have for that country music and doing it for as long as you have.
Man, I started out when I was, 14, 15 years old, just playing a little old guitar. And then one day in LA, I grabbed a guitar out of a pawn shop, and that like became my best friend. I was single, had nothing to do in LA, and I was doing a lot of karaoke's and having a great time. And that guitar came along at the right spot, man, and really put music into perspective for me. And I didn't really play it out for anybody for quite a long time. That 30 years of playing is really just, basements and campfires and, for girlfriends and things like that. Just writing songs, just kind of learning the music and learning the guitar and things. So it wasn't until probably, 20, 25 years later, things started coming into play where I was able to get out there and had courage, to hit the stage and sing in front of people and just do my thing. And I found real quickly that originality was something that people really were looking for. They needed that right now. They needed that, right. When I got started, there wasn't a lot of originality. Everything's cover bands, and I'm not trying to be like somebody else, So I've always just been that guy in the basement having a good time with the guitar. So I brought that to the stage, and I brought my originals to the stage, to tell stories still like the songs used to do, and just have a good old time. That's what music's meant to me for the last 30 years playing and being out playing now for almost 4 years professionally, and the things that I've accomplished, and country music's just been so good to me. Like there's nowhere else I'd need to go. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to cross over to any other genre of music. This is the spot. I'm a redneck from the South and been a Dukes of Hazzard rebel from the beginning, man. So what can I say? I'd slide on that stage in my underwear and play play if I could. That's just the way that it goes. I'm
sure the ladies would go crazy if you did that, man, but I'm not sure your other half would enjoy that a whole lot. I can tell you that.
No. That's her concert. She gets later. She gets those, whenever she wants. But
that's the one thing about all the artists here in Central PA. Everybody brings their sort of own uniqueness to the stage when they do take the stage here in Central PA. You, man, I got to tell you, when I first met you, you were probably, and you've heard this before, you are probably the most genuine dude that I've ever met in this music business. I mean, you just kind of bleed country music as soon as you meet you. For as long as you've been doing it, and the passion and the love that you have for country music, I mean, it just shows in every single thing that you do when you're up on that stage.
I appreciate that, man. I really try to be as authentic as I can be. I might have done a little rodeo. I might not have, you know what I mean? But I might have worked on a farm and might not have been there forever, but I still have that country in me from the clay dirts of Alabama, man. That's where it comes from. It's backwoods Georgia, backwoods Alabama, where my parents are now, and you can't get much more country than that. That's the deep South as far as I'm concerned. We're really about being authentic as a band too. We like to play our music, and came to a crossroads there where I had to decide whether I wanted to be a cover band or I wanted to be an original band. And I had so many original songs, and the people that I met and brought into the band and created a band with, they were all at the point to where like we just want to play your stuff, and hone in on that and play your stuff. It's great. We want to be that original, because they were eating it up too. They got the freedom to do what they wanted to with the music. I'd bring them a song, and I'd say, okay, what do you hear? And next thing you know, it's a banger out there. So it really makes it a lot better for us when I take that stage. You know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? You know that country music is coming. That's kind of why that's why I use Clifton Bryan Country instead of Clifton Bryan Band or Country Band. When we hit that stage, typically when you see me get out the truck, that I'm an opera singer. So you're going to have a great show.
Right. Right.
But we like to be as authentic as we can, man. That's just where it's at. I think people see that, they feed that. I've watched a lot of videos of other people talking about being on stage for thousands, and every movement that you make, every second you're on that stage, they see that. The fans see that.
Oh,
The
yeah.
people sees that. The audience sees that. So the show starts as soon as you take that stage. When I put this hat on, that show starts. So, whether it's in the trailer, in the dressing room, backstage, out in the grass, when I put this hat on, it's time to do business. It's like Sylvester Stallone turning his baseball cap backwards and getting ready to arm
Time
wrestle.
to get at it.
I'm ready to go, and we take that stage and we just play it out and play it to the crowd. And if I can't get you off your feet, that's, there's something wrong. We're not doing something right if we can't get you up dancing. That's why we come off the stage, man. We're just as real as we can be. And I've always been that way, I guess. I've just always been that way. I've always been real and try to be true to myself. And, we played this showdown in the park the last 2 years, and we got beat last year, and we did all originals, and we beat ourselves up all year long thinking, man, it's because we did originals and I didn't know it, and we got to do this. And I take everything in, and I learn from all my mistakes and all my little small errors, and I try to correct them and do better things the next time. So, I think that's something that makes an artist really blossom personally and professionally. If you take a step out of the box and really try to focus on what it is that you want to accomplish and be as true to that as you can be. And that's where we are now.
After you're out on the road, the back road country tour that you're out on right now, talk a little bit about that, how it's been going, where you guys have been, where you're heading. You've been all over the place already. Just talk about that experience alone on the back road country tour that you're on right now.
And the back road country tour is great. We've had a lot of success being able to play other states. We played Maryland, we played Panama City Beach, Florida, we played Georgia, we played Alabama. We've put on an East Coast tour and playing up and down wherever we can. We've gotten lucky that I learn from my mistakes and I do better the next time, and I push the band to really do better in rehearsals, and let's get things toned in and become that premium band that we want to be, so that we're out there rocking those amphitheaters, because that's the next place we're going to go. But we're really trying hard to stay focused and keep moving forward as best as we can. This business is tough, man. It's cutthroat every day, so we're trying.
Right. Let's flash back a little bit to little Clifton Bryan back in the day when you got your start in country music. Talk about where did all the country music come from, where the vibe came from, how you picked it up. Let's dive into that a little bit here.
Clifton Bryan back in the day, when I was, I guess it was really Garth Brooks that changed the scene for me, man. I was into country music growing up, Alan Jackson, Travis Tritt, Randy Travis, Alabama, Diamond Rio, Shenandoah. Those were all kind of bands that I listened to growing up, but I wasn't much of a country fan. My daddy was a country fan, so he always had country music playing, and I kind of listened to all kinds of music, from hip hop to rap to jazz, coming up through high school and stuff. But Garth Brooks hit the scene, man, and kind of just changed the whole perspective of country music as an entertainment. And he was, I'd never seen anybody like him before on stage that would run across the stage and be so interactive with the audience and so, just out there. He's not a great singer, right? But he's a fantastic performer and entertainer.
Yep.
And that just really changed it for me. I was into acting and things as a younger guy, and got some TV work and really enjoyed the entertainment business. Then, when I bought that guitar in LA and started playing music, it was really like, oh, how can I transition this to, being music led? And then life happens and all that goes on. But as a little kid, it was really, I used to sit and play and sing his records and drive my mother bonkers. Uh, I would lay in the bedroom and blast his music and just sing along to it and just kind of get used to, the whole rhythm and melody and how it moves you, and get into the music. And that really changed it for me as far as country music goes. After that, it was like, oh, wow, that's great. And these songs are really great. There's really good stories in here. And so
Right.
when I look back at like songwriting and I reflect on things, there's songwriters that I don't even realize were the songwriters, like Dolly Parton and Jamie Jameson, and Chris Stapleton. They've been songwriters for years and writing for all the bigwigs. And I kind of look back and reflect and all the experiences that I've had from, growing up in Florida to living in 15 different states and 9 different schools. And you know what I mean? Like all these different things that it brings a whole big variety to my songwriting that makes it really authentic and makes me able to relate to people and write stories about good things. And, I don't know. I have a good girlfriend, so I don't have any sad songs to write about.
Right. That's a lot of
But for me,
material though, man. You got a lot of material to write down and to think about and to make those into genuine songs that
yeah.
most people, you know what I mean, that are like you just said, that are getting it written by somebody else.
But that kind of helped me. That kind of helps me, like realize, if you write a song and somebody says that they like it or it touches them in a certain way, you got to have something there. You know what I mean to for that to happen. And so it kind of, when I started writing songs, it wasn't like, but when I started going out and playing in front of people and doing it at bars and things like that, where I had to learn the whole entertainment side and performer side of it, because that's a whole nother gamble.
Right.
You can be a killer player, but you can also stand still and be not entertaining at all. Or you can be a killer player and be as entertaining as Garth and run everywhere. So I try to put that into my book of things, and I was like, I am an entertainer, always been an entertainer. I love performing. I love playing music. Let's learn these cover songs front to back so that I can play them without looking at a screen, or I can play them without looking down at the guitar. Let's learn my own originals. Let's get them right to where they need to be and play the ones that are really good out, that gets people to look at me as an artist and not just some guy that plays music for you in the background. That's the threshold to cross, is that background
Right.
threshold.
Before we showcase some of your music here, because you're going to play some acoustic stuff for us here shortly, talk about the music here in Central PA alone. We just touched on it a little bit ago. It is a cutthroat business, but here in Central PA, it is really like no other. I mean, there is so many people in this area alone. You know it firsthand. You've played with them. You're friends with these guys that are out on the road right now and just trying to get to that next level. Talk about the hotbed that is here in Central PA of that local country music.
There is so much talent in
Right.
central Pennsylvania, from the backwoods of South End, Red Lion, Lancaster County, to York County, to the top end, to Wilkes-Barre. There is so much talent of all different types, whether it's rock and roll, classic rock, bluegrass, country, rap, hip hop, Afro beats. There's everything in Central PA. Like I think like in the last, I'd say probably 15 years, probably between Central PA, between Harrisburg, Dauphin County, York County, Lancaster County, this Central County, Lebanon counties, they've all gotten more artsy, and they've gotten more open to community arts, whether it's local musicians, a local painter, a local builder. They've all kind of come back into the community, which is really nice, because then it makes everybody flourish. When you spotlight somebody and you say, hey, this is something that's going on. This guy's great. These guys are great. But the music part of this is, there's so many pop-up places now. Pennsylvania and is great. There's so many brewery pop-ups that it makes availability accessible for us artists. Because before, there's not too many places that are venues that are specific for music. There are, but you got to be pretty big and have a pretty good following, or know somebody to get into them. Or win a competition to get into them. It's kind of difficult. But these smaller venues, these bars are making nice, quaint areas for you to play, and they're intimate sessions with people. You're able to build a fan base, and the talent that comes through here is amazing. A lot of them are taking steps towards Nashville. A lot of them are taking steps to California. Whether it's male bands or female bands. I could name names all day long. But they're doing great things. You had, Matt with who does the sound for Zimmerman, Jeff Zimmerman band. They're doing great things. They're off to an amazing career. Grant Bryan's off to another one too. Jillian Smith, she's killing it. They're like, who could be the next one? Who knows? Could it be Clifton Bryan Country? Who knows? You know what I mean?
We're hoping, man. We're hoping.
Yeah. We're hitting that. Like I said, we're going to hit that national stage, and we're going to play for a lot of people, and we're going to give you everything we got. And I just hope that the world loves it, man. I hope that the world loves it and comes on board, and we get to do it again. But the music scene around here between Cody Tyler and Bobby Law and us and Stonewood, and there's just so many great bands. You can literally go see 4 or 5 bands in one night in a local area that has multiple venues in downtown Lancaster, York, Harrisburg. It's just so great. The music scene here is great. I like it much better than Nashville. It's not flooded. Nashville's flooded Sunday to Sunday. It's flooded with artists, and they're all fantastic.
You're working on new music right now. You ready to play some tunes? Ready to play some music?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on this fantastic stage. We got great music in Pennsylvania, but we also have the best guitar shop here in the state, right here at the Guitar Spot USA in Red Lion, Pennsylvania, man. They have some amazing collection. I got one on layaway right now that I'm going to be picking up the next couple of weeks, hopefully to play at Fall Fest. It's just great. These guys are great. They let me use their stage here in the back room for this today. So, definitely want to thank them for that. But I guess we can put something brand new on the spot here for you, man.
All right, Cliff, let's talk about what you're going to play here and story behind the song, and then we're going to give way to you and let you have at it.
Well, I thought a lot about what I wanted to play, and I think I've been working on this new jam. I took a little Tom Petty, little dig off of Free Fall, and Tom Petty's another great songwriter, and I thought, like I said, I got a great woman, and it's kind of hard to write sad songs. So I wrote this song. I got this thought about free falling, but in the opposite direction of falling free. So this song's called Falling Free, and it's really about the woman that you're with, and you're just falling free for her.
All right, man. It's all yours. Clifton Bryan, ladies and gentlemen.
Got a little classic feel, hopefully. We can wait around all night, drinking old Tom Petty, tossing back a few cold ones, waiting on the girl to get ready. Big old bonfire tonight down at the levee. We gotta tie one on before we go, 'cause it's only about a half a mile down a red dirt road. Me and Becky Sue climbed in my Chevy, fired the bad boy up, and we drove out to the levee. Found us a place to park, 'cause when things got heavy. It's been a while since we made out in a car. Pulled out a box of wine, and I grabbed my guitar, and we were so free from falling. But our hearts were calling. There's no place I'd rather be than falling next to me. I can't believe that it was easy, but I'd say something cheesy to make her smile and laugh at me. Yeah, for her I'm falling free. Falling free. For her I'm falling free. Then she slid on over and put her lips on mine. Who knew that kiss that night would stop all time? Didn't take that long to get out to that living. But after that first kiss, y'all, we never got out of my Chevy. We were so free, free from falling. But our hearts were calling. The place I'd rather be, falling next to me. I can't believe that it was easy, but I say something cheesy to make her smile and laugh at me. Yeah, for her I'm falling free. Falling free. For her I'm falling free. Falling free. For her I'm falling free. Little something like that.
I loved it, man. I loved it. So how long did it take you to write that song?
That one actually took a little over a year. A little over a year. I wrote that song originally about a little over a year ago when I first moved into this camper down in Redline, and I was writing things kind of left and right. I didn't have nothing else to do for a while, and so I was just writing songs. And Free Fallin' came on that earlier day, and I was picking around with that, the lick from Free Fallin', and I was like, yeah, you can't steal the lick, you gotta come up with something else. But
Right.
I really like the idea of Free Fallin', and I'm like, how can I make that about falling in love? And then so I started with Fallin' Free, and then I had a chance to write a song with Grant Bryan and Ryan Allen on a podcast called The Story. And Grant's idea was a love song based off of just wanting to do your own thing. That's where Me Time came from. The song Me Time came out of. But Ryan had the idea. I was playing this song for Ryan, and I didn't quite have what it was, and he and at that point, and he said, why don't you make it about like free falling for her? And I'm free falling for her. And I was like, okay. So I kind of wrote that in there, the for her part, but it just didn't work right. Free falling for her, and I was like, no, it didn't work. But if I'm falling free, I'd love to have her right here beside me falling free. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just made a bit more sense. And then once I changed that lyric, it kind of set into place. And then I kind of wanted it to have a more classic country sound, than a poppy, newer, fresh country sound. I kind of wanted to have more of a classic late 90s, early 2000s sound. That's why it has that, it kind of sounds like, a Rodney Atkins kind of song. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's got that early 2000s feel, which is kind of where I kind of like to sit. But yeah, that's where it came from.
That's a great song, man. I loved every single part of that. It's going to be on your new work coming up, right?
Yeah, that's one of the new works coming up. My girlfriend is in the band now, so we have a song for her that we want to get out to called "Wild Like Me." We got another song with "Bringing Country Back" that we want to get out for the Fall Fest kind of thing, before the end of the year, so that we got these two songs out. So people can go and find those because they're pretty good songs. So. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of songs, man. I'm shopping sponsors right now. So if any of you sponsors see this video and you would love to sponsor Clifton Bryan Country, get in touch with us at cliftonbryancountry.com because we're looking for sponsors so that we can put out a whole bunch of music and take this tour next year really seriously and really blow it out for y'all. we're coming to Jackson Hole, we're coming to North Dakota, we're coming to Cheyenne, we're coming to these big places that, you know, all the big wigs come and play. So we want to really put it on and give it a good time. So it's a
Absolutely.
whole new world and game for the CBC, man.
Yeah, support that local country music. That's what this is all about. Of course, we're joined by Clifton Bryan. I've been doing this for well over 30 years. Also doing it now professionally for the past 4 years. Talk a little bit about too. I mean, you're making quite the impact here in Central PA, Clifton. The 11th annual Josie Awards happening down in Nashville. You're up for multiple categories down there in Nashville. You've been nominated for multiple awards at the CPMAs as well. Talk a little bit about the recognition that you get here in Central PA and what that means to you.
You know, it means a whole lot, man. It's really, when you're a musician, it truly is a lonely life, man. It really is. You know, people think you're a joke. What you're doing is just fun. You know, you're not really doing anything. And then you say, "Oh, I do it. What else do you do?" I get that question a whole lot. You know, what else do you do? What else do you do? Oh, this is what I do full time. Really? You can do this full time? I'm still alive and healthy, aren't I? I'm still up here doing it. So
Right.
yes, you can. It's the and being recognized for anything is fantastic. You know, and just to be in the same room with some of the talents that are included in these categories and these nominations from Central PA Music Hall of Fame or the Josie Awards out of Nashville is just incredible, man. You know, there's 100,000 people that put in for these awards every year, and only less than 3% get in there, get into the category, and and let alone to win one. You know, yeah, I've been nominated a few. It'd be great to win one, but I don't play music for the awards, but it's so fulfilling. It's like when I worked in the medical field, right? When I was killing the cancer, right? It was really fulfilling to be able to talk to a patient and say, "Hey, you know, when you wake up 3 weeks from then, you'll be cancer free because we're about to freeze it." You know, it's so fulfilling. It's that kind of same fulfilling thing for your job when somebody says, "Hey, we're going to recognize you among all of these other artists. We're pulling you out. You know, we're saying what you got going on is pretty good, and we'd like to showcase that a little bit." And it's the same feeling that I get the same feeling from that. It's just rewarding. Because it is hard work. It's a lot of hard work. I've sacrificed so much in the last 4 years playing and touring and going out of state and playing. And I've lost time with my daughter. I've lost girlfriends. You know what I mean? There's so many sacrifices that have happened in there. But that's all part of being a musician, man. And when you're able to take a stage, or when you're able to say, "Hey, look, I'm nominated for 3 Nashville Awards this year." And all that hard work is kind of coming to a head, and people are seeing it. It just really makes you feel like it makes you feel like you're doing what you should be doing.
Something right.
God said I should be. God said I should be doing this, and that's all the sponsorship that I need, really, right? But it's nice when the humans on the planet look at you and go, "Hey, man, you're pretty good. We like you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Keep
Yeah,
going."
and you're doing amazing things here in Central PA, Clifton, for sure. Congratulations on those nominations down at the Josie Awards, man. Best of luck as well. We've dived into it a little bit. You have a side project that you do with your girlfriend as well. Talk a little bit about that, how that came to be, and how that got started as well.
You know, this woman, I tell you, she is something.
It always
else,
got to
man.
begin that way, doesn't it?
I
This
tell you
woman.
what, this woman, and behind every good man is a better woman, I tell you, and that is the truth.
Indeed.
In this relationship, I met her on a whim on a hike, group hike, group chat hike. People were getting together. I was coming home from a gig, and my buddy said, "Hey, I got a couple of girls coming to this hike. You should come." I said, "Okay." So I made it. Stopped in there, and she wasn't even she wasn't one of the girls that he had coming. She was just there for the hike, and ended up striking it up with her and asked her out that day. And at the waterfall, when we got down to the waterfalls, I asked her what she was doing later that night. It's a funny story too, because I have this song that's out. We have this song out that together. The side gig is called Whiskey and Wildflowers. So that's our name as a duo. because we didn't want them to be, Clifton and Natalie, or keep the Clifton Bryan country thing because it was a
Love the
duo.
name.
Yeah, so we pitched that name around to some people and a couple of names, and that's the one that everybody really loves. So we stuck with Whiskey and Wildflowers, and it's been great to us. We booked like 40 shows this year already. This is our first year out, and it's been really fantastic. She is an amazing person, and it was probably, I don't know, 6 months after we actually dating where I heard her singing for the first time, on the radio kind of thing. And she's one of those people, when music's playing, she's not stopping. She's always moving. It don't matter if she's laying down and a song comes on in the background. If I'm scrolling through my phone, she'll start dancing to it. Just she's very musically inclined and loves it.
Right.
So we put out a song called Baby I Fly. And I Fly stands for, it's an acronym, so it stands for I Freaking Love You. And we say that to each other all the time instead of I love you. Typically, we just say I fly. And that's just the way it is because we just freaking love each other. But we had this song that's kind of based on how we met. So it's my perspective and it's her perspective of life and how she got to meet me and meet her. But the first couple of lines in that song are a true story of how we met because we met on a hike. And it says, I wasn't looking for love when you cast your line, but I took the bait. That's the first line out of the song. And what that means is she wasn't fishing, but she had a little string hanging from her pants. And I followed her for about a mile. And I finally, when we got to a stopping point, I leaned up and I said in her ear, hey, listen, I'm not really looking at your butt, but you got a string hanging from your butt that's been bugging me for the last mile, and I want to pull it. And she said, please don't pull it. Please don't pull it because you might rip it out and could make a big hole. And I said, okay. I said, well, we'll cut it. I'll cut it with my pocket knife when we get up here. So we ended up cutting it off. And that was the icebreaker. That was the first thing that I said to her was, I'm not
the first
looking
thing
at
you said to her, you were whipping out a knife to cut something.
Yeah, the first thing I said to her was, I'm not looking at your butt.
And she's still with you.
And she's still with me. So that's what I mean. And behind every good man's a great woman. And so that's where that line comes from. I wasn't looking for love when she had that little string dangling out there fishing, casting that bait, but I took the bait and here we are. And here we are, 2.5, almost 3 years later, baby, I fly.
So that's awesome stuff, man. Hey, we're going to get into some fun stuff here, Clifton, here shortly. But if you want to play something else here, we'll dive into another one of maybe an older song. If you want to play an older song or some of your newer stuff, totally up to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clifton Bryan.
We'll give you. It's a song that I wrote quite a while ago. It's the 3 things that I do every day. My band laughs when I say that on stage. Because they always think, something dirty. And it's not dirty. It's real simple. Real simple things that I do every day. It's a little loving, laughing, and living it up. Jenny was sitting on the hood of my truck, just loving, laughing, and living it up. Got a case of cold ones filling with us. The sun is out and we're feeling the buzz. Around 3 o'clock, my buddies pull up, light the fire and they crank them up. 'Cause it's all 4 wheels and 4 little words. I'm getting muddy and I'm trying to preserve. I'm loving, laughing, and living it up. That's the way that a country boy does. The full moon's rising, there's a party tonight. Gotta get those tents before we run out of light. Got some cakes and a gallon of shine. That should be enough, keep us feeling alright. We show up around 9:45. Tap the kicks and let the party begin. It's on 4 wheels and 4 little words. I'm getting muddy and I'm trying to preserve. I'm loving, laughing, and living it up. That's the way that a country boy does. Loving, laughing, and living it up. I'm loving, laughing, and living it up. Loving, laughing, and living it up. That's the way that a country boy does. Wake up early and we roll out the tent. Start the fire, get the party again. Seats on four wheels and four little words. I'm getting muddy and I'm trying to impress her. I'm loving, laughing, and living it up. That's the way that a country boy does. Loving, laughing, and living it up. I'm loving, laughing, and living it up. Loving, laughing, and living it up. That's the way that a country boy does. Oh, give me a redneck girl. Oh, give me a redneck girl. Something like that.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Man, I'll tell you what, just watching you local country artists play with a guy that has zero musical ability, I'll tell you what, it's absolutely amazing what you guys do on a daily basis. I just got to tell you that. Absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
the great Clifton Bryan is, of course, joining us here on Soundcheck with Chase. Just about to wrap things up with Clifton, but before we go, we got to have some fun with Clifton before we say goodbye here. If we went on a back country road drive with Clifton Bryan, I want to know, A, where would we go? B, what are we listening to? And C, what are we driving in, man?
A, where would we go? On a back road country tour, where would we go? We would go on a back roads between lower West Virginia and northern Tennessee.
Nice. I like it.
Where the waterfalls run right down the side of the road.
What would you be?
Oh, what would I be listening to? Country music. What do you mean? What would I be listening to?
Anything in particular? Any certain artist that we'd be listening to, or?
No, I'm a big Chris Young fan, but no, nobody in particular. Just I put on, typically when I'm driving or riding a motorcycle, I put on like a '90s mix or the top 100 country '90s songs or early 2000s kind of thing. So that's what I would have on, just a country mix of the hits.
Okay.
To
nice.
Sing along to and blare out and.
And what are we driving in on that back country road?
Well, if it's me, you're gonna be on the back of the motorcycle. If it's me.
Nice. Harley Davidson, I'm assuming.
No, I'm not a Harley guy. Actually,
not a Harley guy.
No, I never got into the Harleys. I didn't have enough room to put the floor mat down and for all the oil stains it was going to give me. So I didn't ever go the Harley way. No, just kidding. Just kidding Harley riders. Although, that's how your bikes came in the 70s. They came with the
They're
floor
with that
mat.
Harley Davidson sponsor, man.
Yeah, no, I don't need the Harley Davidson. I've never really been a Harley fan. I'm a Yamaha fan, man. I ride a Yamaha Raider. It's a 1900 cc, and it's a beast. They quit making them in 2019, and I really wish they didn't. It's a fantastic bike. So maybe Yamaha could come out with another one, or if you need somebody to ride across the country on them, let me know, because I've already taken mine across the country 4 times, up and down, east and west, north and south. So let's ride. They go everywhere. That thing, it's a beast, man. I always tease my Harley friends that it eats Harleys for breakfast.
Hey, man, you could test drive something new, man. There you go. Call up Clifton Bryan, man. He'll test drive it for you.
Absolutely. They do have some new Harleys out that are pretty banging. If I wasn't going like maybe to the new Indians. The new Indians are really nice too. But there's some nice Harleys that are out, and they've come up in CCs. They got a 1900 or 1950 or something. So it's not an impossibility, but for me, I love my Yamaha. I'm gonna ride it till it dies. I put 60,000 miles on that thing in 10 years.
Wow.
So I'm gonna put another 60 or 600 on it if I could.
Yeah. Let's switch gears here, Clifton. Over to, before you take the stage, do you have a all-time favorite pre-concert meal? Some ramen noodles, some mac and cheese, something good, man, to get you started before you take that stage?
I have learned that eating before I play is a burping concert. So I typically don't eat before I play, just because all that pressure with the guitar weight on my stomach, on a full stomach, makes it really, really hard to breathe. and
Yeah.
sing and play and not burp and throw up because it's really hard with all that food. So I typically don't eat before I play, and I typically don't drink alcohol before I play either. I might have one in the breakdown, like during the set break or something, or one towards the end with the crowd kind of thing. But I typically don't drink because that dries out my throat really bad. So I typically don't drink alcohol or eat a big meal before I play. So I'm usually the infamous starving artist on stage.
And when you get done, you hit the buffet right away.
Absolutely. As soon as we get done, and my girlfriend Natalie, she'll attest to that. Where's the cheeseburger? As soon as we're
Nice.
done. Yeah.
Nice. So no food, no drink for Clifton Bryan before the have to throw in more intermissions during the show if that would happen for sure. Talk about
Yeah.
your favorite artist of all time and why.
Man, my favorite artist of all time and why. Looking back, there's probably a couple as far as musicians go. Between Travis Tritt and Alan Jackson, kind of thing. Like I said, Garth was a big influence on me as far as getting me into the country world. But an all-time icon that I would want to play with and would have loved to have been a part of something with would have been Toby Keith, man. Toby Keith was a hell of a dude, and he did a lot of great things for local artists and little guys like me and little independent artists. He did a lot of great things. He did a lot of great stuff for the military. He had a lot of benefits that he set up for children and cancers and research and all that stuff, man. I mean, he was just a great guy and and a hell of a songwriter too, So I think that's probably one of the main guys. He's probably out of the 40 or 50 artists that I cover on my cover sets, he's got the most songs in my cover sets. As Toby.
The country music world is missing Toby Keith. A
Yeah,
lot.
for sure, man,
Every
for
single
sure. I'm hoping Clifton Bryan Country can bring a little bit of something new, a little new style honky tonk with that old feeling that can bring it back around. So, because we're definitely missing a lot of the icons that we had in country music world. So, and he was one of them. But he's probably one of the. I don't have any idols. I don't idol humans because I follow God. But he's definitely somebody that I looked up to probably the most over the years of playing music too, playing music and writing songs and things. He's always been true to himself. He's never strayed. Always been straight true to himself. Like the Cody Johnsons and the George Straits of the world. But Toby was out there on the stage, and even if it was a Billy Ray Cyrus type of song, it did make a difference. He was still right on it,
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about it. It was real and raw. And that's where I'm at.
Talk about a dream venue that you haven't played at yet.
Red Rock, baby.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you ever been out there?
Yeah, I've been out there. Yeah. I'd love to play Red Rock. I'd love to play Red Rock in a minute. We're scheduled to play Casper. We get the Gaslight Social in Casper, Wyoming, next year in the summer, and that's a big place too. Chase Rice just played there the other day. I mean, that's a big place. It's like an open in the city, open, huge amphitheater type setting kind of place. So I'm really excited to play there. But yeah, Red Rock. I'd love to play Red Rock. I've said that this year. I put that out there. I want to play Red Rock next year. So come on, Red Rock. Let's go. I don't care who I'm
Get
opening
Clifton
with.
Bryan out there. Yeah, let's get him out there.
Let's do it. We're coming out west anyway, so.
Yeah, you're putting on a pretty big show coming up here in October. Dylan Scott, Low Cash, Cooper Allen, Megan Patrick, Drew Baldridge. How awesome is that going to be on stage with those artists coming up here in October?
It's going to be phenomenally awesome. I can't even fathom. I've messaged a few of my friends in Nashville and in California that I still have and asked them, how do I handle stepping on a stage that size? What do you do? And it just keeps playing back in my mind. And you're just going to work. You're going to work. You're going to work. That's what you do for a living. You're going to work. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people or 20,000 people. You're just going to work. But it's going to be incredible. I can't imagine it. I'm looking to get an RV so that we can roll up in our own bus, and be like be like the touring band that we are. So I'm hoping that we'll have an RV by then, our own RV, which we'll be touring in next year. But if not, we may rent one, or maybe we get sponsored with one for the day to take up there and roll up and just really give it the whole red carpet experience, man. I'm excited for my band. They've never had any experience like that, that type of level. I'm excited for the opportunity to meet Drew Baldridge and Megan Patrick and Cooper Allen and Low Cash and Dylan Scott. I'm excited to meet them all and network and market with them. And we're available to go on tour right now with you. Let's go. It's such an opportunity. I can't fathom anything that will come of it, and I don't expect anything to come out of it. That's just how real I am. I don't go in it with. I'm not going into it with a bunch of expectations that things are going to happen for us as a band after this. This is just another day at work, and but we're good at our job, so we're going to go and give it all that we got. But it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for them to say our name for all those people, and hopefully we take the stage at 11:30, from 11:30 to 11:50. So we got our 20 minutes of fame, and we've got a great set of songs set out to where it plays. I play, she plays, we play, I play, and you get the best of both worlds. You're getting all the hot songs that we have, we were like, do we do cover? Do we not? And at this stage, at this level, I think we were given this opportunity to show people who we are and show you exactly what Clifton Bryan Country can do and what we're about and the kind of music that we play. And it's going to be something else to see 5,000 or 10,000 people that are there that early, setting up, clapping and singing, dancing. And I've got family coming, they're making signs, they're in their VIPs, and it's going to be, I can't imagine it, Chase. I just can't. I can't really imagine it until it's there, and I try not to anticipate it either, So, I'm not one for getting nervous about being on a stage. Once I hit that stage and put this hat on, the nerves are out the door. It's all entertainment at that point. But so it's I can't wait. I've been hearing my name on the radio, 10 times a day. Every 20 minutes, I hear my name twice on the radio, and that's even crazier. And I've got people texting me and saying, "Hey, I just heard your name on the radio. That's awesome." So it's great.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, I'm excited for you, man. That is going to be quite the show. Can't wait for you to take the stage with some of those big name artists that are out there, man. You deserve it all and so much more. Absolutely. Let's wrap things up with Clifton Bryan here. Something we did with Matt in the Hat from the Jess Zimmerman Band. We're going to wrap it up with this or that. You pick one or the other, okay? Are you ready?
Yep.
I think I already know the answer because you already answered this at the beginning of the sound check with Chase. Cowboy hats or baseball hats?
Depends on the occasion, but it's usually a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's usually a cowboy, regardless. Even mowing the grass, it's a cowboy hat.
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one for you. Garth Brooks or Toby Keith? and listen, I pre-wrote this. I didn't even write this down. Like Garth Brooks or Toby Keith, if you had to pick one.
It'd be Toby. I know both of their songs. I know all the songs on both sides, but it would be Toby. Yeah, it'd be Toby.
Thanks. Beer or vodka?
Beer or vodka? Oh, I'm beer. I'm not a vodka drinker. Yeah, beer.
That a boy. I'm an IPA guy. I love my IPAs.
I like something with some flavor. Put a little stank on it. I'm good.
Yeah, buddy. The beach or the great outdoors?
Oh, great outdoors. I've lived at the beach, man. They can have that sand. They can have it. It's the great outdoors. I was riding a motorcycle the other day, and I was coming back from my vacation, and I was trying to picture, like, when I looked off in the distance, a beach. And the mountains just overruled. It's just there's nothing like it, man. Nothing like it.
Nothing compares. Last one is new or old country.
Old country.
Yeah,
old country. Choice. Old original country, man. Not older than my time frame, right? Like not my daddy's old, not the 60s, 70s old, but the late 70s, 80s, 90s. That's still, you're still going back a ways. That's still old, right? So if it had a license plate, it'd be an antique. You passed the classic stage, right? So, but yeah, I would say
going with the old country.
Older country. Yeah, I've been trying to get into the new country, man, but it's, I'm not opposed to a 3 chords or 4 chord song or 2 chord song. That's just the way music's written. But I really like some songs that have a relatable story about something that's not repetitive through the whole. It's not the same verse. So it seems like a lot of new country now is the same verse 4 times with the hook. It's there's not much variety in the songs these days.
And country shouldn't be playing on pop radio stations either, or rock stations. They should be playing on country.
Yeah,
Country
yeah,
stations, right?
it is its own genre, right? It has
Yeah.
you have country, you have pop, you have rock, you have classic rock, and you blend them all in. And it's funny though, in my band, I'm the only country guy in my band. I'm the only
Yeah.
one. My guitarist lead guitarist. He's a blues guy and classic rock guy. My bass player, she's a funk and ska kind of bass player. She's played rock and country, and from Texas from here to there. And the drummer, my drummer Adam, he's not a country drummer, but he's just a great drummer and loves to do all kinds of stuff. So it's I'm the only one that's really country, but
Right.
it's what gives you a great sound. When you
Yes.
have all that
Yeah.
different variety and a background, it gives a great sound to what we got going on. It makes it unique and individual. But it's not that the new country is bad or anything like that. But I like to tell a story, man. I like you to feel a little bit of something and not just have a pop beat that makes you want to dance. I want the lyrics to make you move.
Indeed. I agree with you 100%. Clifton, this has been awesome, man. Before you go, though, let's tell everybody your socials, where they can find you, coming up here out on the road as well before we head on out here and exit to the left here.
Okay. Boy, we have a whole lot of stuff going on. Socials are real simple. I only have time for Instagram and Facebook. They're both Clifton Bryan Country on Facebook and Instagram. I'm the only Clifton Bryan Country in the world, so if you Google Clifton Bryan Country, my face will be the one that pops up. There's not another one. Our website is cliftonbryancountry.com. You can check that out. That has our bios, all our band information's in there. The different options that we offer for venues are on there. Got some music on there, photos, all that good stuff, videos kind of thing. So it's really, you can go in there and check it out. I'm working on getting merch on there soon. Hopefully we'll have a merch set up to do that. And
Yeah, man, I need a Clifton Bryan hat back here, man. I got the Jess Zimmerman, I got the Jake Maish, I got the Cody Tyler, I got the Warren Ziders, man. I'm missing my Clifton Bryan hat back here, man.
You got it. You got it. We're having some really cool ones made for this Fall Fest coming up. So you got it, my friend. But yeah, so that's the social medias. That's the website. If you want to email me about a book, you can do it real easy. Everything's Clifton Bryan Country at Gmail, cliftonbryancountry.com, Clifton Bryan Country on the socials. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. The end of August, September, October is really crazy for us. Next week, this week will be the duet Whiskey and Wildflowers will be at Old Republic Distillery in Ephrata from 6 to 8:30. It's a great time there. They have great cold brews and some great whiskeys there, and food too. And then Saturday we're playing at Sun Retreats Lancaster outdoors campground gig. It's going to be a great time, 6 to 9. So hopefully you guys have your campsites all set up out there. Next week is going to be a banging week. We've got 7 shows in 6 days, man. Starting on Tuesday, playing a private show with the Masonic Village here in E-Town, and we'll be at Riverside Campground on Wednesday. Fender's Grill on Thursday, Heritage Hills next week. There's so much going on next week. That's all in the schedule. I update the schedule on the website every month at the top of the month for the month. The band schedule, the full band schedule is at the very bottom, and that's for the whole year. So everything's in there for the whole year for the full band. And it's broken down by Whiskey and Wildflowers and solo by me. So you can see where we're at every month and where I am, where we are, where her and I are at, kind of thing. But yeah, and then September comes in. We're playing the Underdog in Camp Hill on a Friday night, the 4th, 5th, And then Saturday the 6th, we're playing the big block party. I've been trying for 2 years to play a block party at the Burning Bridge, man. And we finally got put into a block party, which was awesome. It got turned into a block party, which is a great benefit. It's the Rally for Riley, cancer benefit for her. There's a golf tournament earlier that day. The Highway Boys are playing from 3 to 5 acoustic, and then we're playing from 6 to 9 out on the street. It's going to be a great time. So bring your chairs and bring some money to help donate and help her fight against cancer. She's got stage 4 liver cancer, I think. So I do a lot of that stuff. You know, I was a cancer killer in the medical world before I started doing this, but that's a whole nother show. So
Clifton Bryan, man, I tell you what, man,
we got Fall Fest. Can't forget that, October 5th, baby.
Clifton Bryan, you are a true treasure here, man, to Central PA. I got to say, thank you so much. Wishing you all the best, man. You deserve it all. Gonna have to do this again, for sure, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Yes,
sir. Thank you so much, Chase, for everything that you do, man. And come see me at the merch table at Fall Fest, buddy. You'll get your hat.